If your Social Security check is on the small side, if it comes in under $1,500 a month, and every time you look at that number you wonder how on earth it's supposed to stretch to the end of the month, then I need you to stay right here because you are almost certainly leaving money on the table. And I don't mean a coupon. I don't mean some little discount. I mean actual payments, real dollars, built for people with exactly your size check. There are 5 of them. And here's the cruel part. Almost none of them ever come looking for you. Social Security sends out your check and then goes quiet. Nobody at that agency picks up the phone to say, you know what, you also qualify for this one, and this one, and this one. They just don't do it. So today I'm going to hand you all 5, by name, what each one is, where to go, and what it's worth. And I'm saving the biggest for the very end, because that 5th one is the only one on this whole list that puts real cash straight back onto your monthly check. It literally raises the number Social Security pays you. Stick with me. Before we start, let me clear up the one thing that makes most people click away too early. You do not have to be flat broke for this to be yours. A lot of folks hear benefits for a small check, and they picture somebody with nothing at all, and they think, that's not me, I've got a little something put by. That thinking is a mistake, and it's an expensive one. Several of these go to people with a modest check and a modest amount in savings. And on the other side, a couple of them have no asset test worth worrying about at all. The only way to find out which of the 5 has your name on it is to hear all 5. By the time we're through, you'll have the program name, the office that runs it, and a real dollar figure for each one. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a benefits counselor, so I can't run your exact case, but I can tell you precisely which door to knock on and the words to say once you're there. And while you're listening, do me a favor and drop a comment with your rough monthly check. A round number's fine, nobody needs the exact cents. I want to see who I'm talking to. Let's get right into it, starting with the one that shows up on your table 3 times a day. Number 1 is food help, and the program is called SNAP, what people used to call food stamps. Now, I already know the objection, because I hear it constantly. I tried that, they told me my Social Security's too high, or that I'd only get a few dollars. Here's what almost nobody explains. If you're 60 or older, there's a special rule that changes the whole math. You get to subtract your out-of-pocket medical costs, anything over $35 a month, from your income before they ever figure your benefit. Your Medicare premium, your prescriptions, your co-pays, your dental, your glasses, your hearing aids. All of it comes off the top. And once it does, the income they count drops, and the food money climbs. Let me put a real face on it. Say your only income is a small Social Security check, and between your Part B premium and a couple of prescriptions, you've got $200 a month going out the door in medical costs. Under this rule, most of that $200 gets pulled off your income before they run the numbers. And that can be the difference between the $23 minimum and a benefit several times that size. The person who got told, you'll only get $23, very often walks back out with $100, even $200 a month, once that medical deduction is done right. Call your county social services office and say 2 things, SNAP and the medical expense deduction for people over 60. If they don't raise it, you raise it. Number 2 keeps your heat and your lights on, and it's one people with a small check leave sitting there every single winter. It's called LIHEAP. That's the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, and in plain words, it's help paying your energy bill. Electric, gas, heating oil, it counts. And it does not matter one bit whether you own or rent, or whether the bill comes in your name or gets folded into what you pay for your place. Depending on your state and how cold it gets, the help usually runs from a couple $100 up to $1,000 a year. This one isn't the flashy one on the list, I'll grant you that. But think of it this way. It's a few $100s a year that you do not have to peel off your grocery money or your medicine money to cover the furnace. You apply through your state or local energy assistance office, and it comes back around every heating season. So it's not once, it's every year for as long as you need it. That brings us to number 3, and here's where the dollars start getting serious. If you're on Medicare, look closely at your Social Security check, because there's money quietly leaving it every month that you may not even realize is going. It's your Medicare Part B premium. In 2026, that's $202.90, pulled straight out of your check before the money ever reaches you. You never touch it, so you barely notice it, but it's gone all the same. There's a program that pays that premium for you, and it's called a Medicare Savings Program. When you qualify, that $202 stops coming out, which means your check goes up by that much. More than $2,400 a year back in your pocket. And the top level of it, the tier called QMB, goes further and covers your deductibles and copays too. For a single person in most states, the income line for that top tier sits around $1,350 a month. But don't stop reading if you're above that, because there are two more tiers above it, SLMB and QI, that reach higher and still pay your whole premium. You apply through your state Medicaid office. This one alone can be worth more than everything above it combined. Quick question while we're here, and I'm genuinely curious. Is that Part B premium something you even knew was being pulled from your check, or is this the first you're hearing of it? Drop a yes or a no in the comments. I ask because most people I talk to have no idea it was leaving in the first place, which tells you everything about how quiet they keep this. Now, number 4 is the one where the biggest dollar figure of the day is hiding, and hardly anybody on a small check knows it exists. It's called Extra Help. The official name is the Part D Low-Income Subsidy. What it does is knock down the cost of your prescription drugs, and the government's own estimate puts the value of it at around $5,700 a year. Let me say that again, because it's staggering. Roughly $5,700 a year in help with your medicine. If you qualify for the full benefit in 2026, you could pay no drug deductible at all, and your copays drop to about $5 for a generic and around $13 for a brand name. Think about that for a second. If you're on 3 or 4 regular prescriptions and each refill is running you $30, $40, $50, this can take that same trip to the pharmacy down to a handful of dollars. And it protects you from that gap in Part D coverage where drug costs used to explode mid-year, the stretch that made people ration their medicine come the fall. For anybody splitting pills right now, or leaving a prescription sitting at the counter because the price scared you off, this is the one that ends that. The income limit is more generous than people expect. Up to roughly $23,000 a year for a single person, more for a couple. And here's a tip most folks miss. You apply for this one directly through Social Security at s-sa.gov or right there at your local Social Security office. The very agency that sends your check runs this program, and still won't mention it unless you ask. And that lands us at number 5, the one I told you to wait for. Because out of everything on this list, this is the only one that reaches in and raises the actual number Social Security pays you each month. It's called SSI, Supplemental Security Income. Now, a lot of people hear that and assume it's only for folks who never worked. Not true. SSI is a top-up. If your Social Security retirement check is low, SSI can come in on top of it and lift your total monthly income up toward a federal floor. In 2026, that floor is $994 a month for a single person, and $1,491 for a couple, and some states add their own supplement right on top of that. So picture it. If your retirement check is coming in at, say, $700, SSI may be able to add close to $300 more on top, every month, for as long as you qualify. If your check is at $850, it might add something smaller, but it still adds. That's the whole idea of a top-up. It fills the gap between your check and that federal floor. This is the one out of all 5 that actually changes the number printed on your statement. It has tighter limits than the others, on both your income and what you've got in the bank, so not everyone is going to land inside it. I won't pretend otherwise. But I have watched far too many people take one look, decide they must earn too much to bother, never even apply, and quietly go without hundreds of dollars a month for years on end. Your car doesn't count against you. Your home, if you have one, doesn't count. So don't do their math for them. You apply through Social Security, the same sa.gov, the same office down the road. Let them be the ones to look at your case before you rule yourself out. So let me pull the whole thing together, because when you stack these up, the size of it hits you. Snap. Real grocery money every month once that medical deduction goes in. LIHEAP. A few hundred to $1,000 a year on your energy. A Medicare Savings Program. Over $2,400 a year back in your check by killing that premium. Extra Help. About $5,700 a year off your prescriptions. And SSI. Cash added right onto your monthly payment. For a person on a small check, put those together and you're not talking about a few extra dollars. You're talking thousands of dollars a year, every year, money that's already yours, through programs you already paid into with a lifetime of work. None of this is charity. You earned every bit of it. And here's the part that honestly gets under my skin. The people who collect all 5 aren't sharper than you. They didn't get a secret letter you didn't get. They just found out these programs were sitting there. That's the entire difference between the senior getting an extra few thousand a year and the one going without. Information, nothing more. The agencies aren't going to volunteer it. Your check will keep arriving the same small size, quietly, and no one will ever tell you there was more. So here's exactly what to do. Grab a pen. Start with number 5, SSI, and number 3, the Medicare Savings Program. Call Social Security and your state Medicaid office this week, because those two change your monthly income the fastest. Then extra help for your drugs. Then SNAP with that medical deduction. Then LIHEAP before the cold sets in. 5 names, 5 phone calls. That's the work. And please, do one thing for somebody else. You almost certainly know a person, a friend, a neighbor, someone in your family, living on a check just as tight as yours, sure that there's nothing out there for them. Send them this. It could be worth more to them than anything else you give them this year. If this helped you at all, tap the like button. It truly does push this out to more seniors who've been left in the dark. And subscribe, because next time I'm breaking down the mistakes that quietly shrink your Social Security check and how to stop them before they cost you. Last thing, and I mean this, tell me in the comments, which of these 5 were you already getting, and which one are you going to go after first? I read them, and I answer what I can. And if you'd like it, I've made a free 1-page sheet with all 5 programs, the office to call for each, and the exact words to ask for, so you can keep it by the phone. I'll point you to it. Don't let another month go by leaving your money in their account. Go claim what's yours.